What's happening, YouTube? And I'm back for another one. And today I'm going to be climbing up Conifer Fire Road. I'm going to be taking you guys on a loop that I actually used to do quite a bit. I'll be chasing after 3 pretty damn fun single track trails. They all kind of blend into each other, as you'll see as the video goes on. And I'll put up all the necessary map information, like I always do. So without any further ado, guys, let's go kick some ass. So I just finished climbing up Conifer Fire Road, and now I'm on San Geronimo Ridge. So I'll link on this, and I'm going to be heading down to the Grassy Overlook Trail. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'll post all the map information. That way you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's definitely, this particular ride is like a pure XC type of ride. It's going to be a lot of fire road climbs. Conifer Fire Road's a bit of a beast, not going to lie to you guys. And San Geronimo Ridge is more my style of a fire road. At least it's rocky and interesting in parts, has a few steep sections, and it does have a few little tricky climb sections. But all in all, this ride that I'm doing today is a big XC ride. I usually like to ride shorter, more techy, gnarly stuff, but every once in a while it's good to do a nice long XC ride. Hell yeah. All right, so this is the Grassy Slope Overlook. And that's the way I usually go. You can start in the other direction if you want. Been super long since I've done this. Starts off pretty steep, and I've already done a bunch of climbing, so feeling it in the legs, guys. Okay, dropping in to Boulder Springs Trail. This one starts off actually really flowy. The steep section. little rocky sections through here. I always thought this trail was really fun. All right, dropping in to Madrone Arches. Trail kind of reminds me of Tenderfoot a little bit with all the roots. That is the wrong way. Ooh, super sketch. Okay, I can get it. Tight ass turn. Yeah, this is a techie blue for sure. It's got some wicked turns on it too. So beautiful in here. Love it. Oh. Some spots with a bit of trail exposure too. And like I mentioned, just some really tight switchbacks. Super dark in here. A lot of baby heads in here. And hikers. Always watch out for them. Alrighty, and pull up in someone's driveway. All right, guys, that is about it. Big climb day. Probably not the most miles for some of you guys, but I venture to say I probably got at least 3 thou, maybe more. I don't know. My legs are a little wobbly right now, so I'm just heading back into Woodacre. I gotta head home, but it's a great ride. You know, some of the single tracks a little off the beaten path, which is good. Yeah, I didn't even see a soul. It's pretty darn nice, guys. So if you're looking for a new route or something a little different than you normally do, give this one a shot. Oh, and if you come out on Madrone Arches. I can't remember the street. I'll post it here, but it drops you off right before you get onto Sir Francis Drake. The Paper Mill Saloon is right there, so you always got a chance to stop in there for a beer or 3. I thought about it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. What's happening, YouTube? Thanks again for sticking around and watching the whole video. You know I really appreciate it, guys. Sorry I haven't been cranking the videos out like I should be, but I've just been a busy bee. I know I've mentioned that in the last few videos, but it's true. Fortunately though, my schedule is going to be a little opened up, at least in the next week or 2, so I'll be able to crank out a few more videos for you guys to watch. There's a million places I want to go ride, but I just don't have the time. But we'll see. I got a couple, at least in the next week, 2 weeks, I have a few places that I think you guys will like and that I'm dying to go to or go back to. We shall see. As far as the ride in this video, it's a ride that I've done before. I've kind of pieced it together in different other rides. You know, I considered it a cross-country ride. It's about 14 miles. You know, you start up Conifer. Conifer's a bit of a beast, and I ride back there a lot anyways, and I hit a few other trails, wink wink. But it's a full day ride. I mean, I did it in about 3 hours, you know, 3,200 feet of climbing, you know, 14 miles, a lot of fire road climbing, but you know, Boulder Springs and Candelario Canyon or Madrone Arches are really fun. They're really, really fun. One thing I do have to mention though is the Grassy Slope Overlook Trail is extremely overgrown in the first like third of the trail. So if you're watching this video and you want to go ride it, and I think that you should if you're interested in adventure. The middle to the end is, I liked it, you know, but just beware, it is extremely overgrown and you're gonna have to hike a bike for a little bit. If that got trimmed out and cleaned up, you know, it would obviously be a lot better and much more fun to ride. The beginning starts out with a little bit of a climb, but you know, oh well, if you've made it that far, you're probably a decent climber. There's a lot of climbing in this particular route. Obviously, I recommend it to anyone. It's not an overly technical ride. You know, Madrone Arches is kind of like Tenderfoot, so if you've ridden that trail, they're quite similar. A lot of roots, thick roots, and some drops, and some tricky, really tight switchbacks. So keep that in mind. But Grassy Slope, Overlook, and Boulder Springs are basically green trails. Just beware of hikers and all that. Usually I do most of my riding during the weekdays if I can. But all in all, I had a blast and I really recommend you guys try it. It's a nice big outing, and those trails don't get a ton of traffic, so could be worth riding, guys. So with that being said, stay excited, guys. Get stoked, and I'll see you on the next one. Yeah.